And no chance at a return. Start this drive at their own 25. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. From the gun, to give, looking for room, turning it on. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season.
There he goes! They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. Exploded for a huge chunk of yards on that last one. They'll try to do it again here, 1st and 10 from the 33. He'll keep it himself. Got the first down and more. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Gators!
The defense has got to do a better job of taking the most dangerous man. That's the guy with the football in his hands. Force him to do something with it. You can't just let him keep the ball and go score.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finished it off with the 33-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He's out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Excellent job by the kick coverage unit to keep him from getting the sideline. Leaves it with the running back. Didn't find a lot of room. Let's give him 2 out to the 20. When these two first met in 1937 in Baton Rouge, LSU shut out the Gators. Florida would notch the first road victory in this swampy series when they beat LSU on the Bayou in 1956.
And a lot of history between these two teams because even when there were 2 divisions in the SEC, this was a constant cross-division rivalry featuring lots of NFL talent and some really dramatic games. I remember being the #1 team in the nation back in 1997, going into Baton Rouge and losing.
Breaks into the open. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. Not much can impose your will on a defense like popping a big run.
Especially when they know you're going to run it, right? This offense right now is just more physical. They're more physical up front in the trenches. And this running back and his ability to break tackles, that is just so demoralizing for this defense.
Still running at the 40. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31.
And talking to the OC this week, getting this running back going was step #1. It was priority #1. He said it makes the whole offense go. Like, he is the bell cow. He is the guy. This offense doing exactly what they set out to do on this first drive.
LSU getting set on 1st and 10. Cobb sledding there as he picks up 1 to the 29.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact line of scrimmage and getting running backs on the ground.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Here he goes breaking the pocket. He's going to take off. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
They have just bloodied their nose on this drive, all on the ground. It's 1st and 10. Quarterback on the keeper. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. LSU right back to the line.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this.
Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. Extra point here will tie the game. And he knocks the extra point through the uprights. How about the renaissance of the tight ends? Inline, flexed out, split out. They can do a little bit of everything.
They really can. They're asked to block a lot of the times, too. But I'll tell you what, all the wide receivers out wide, the fancy toys, the fancy spread, don't forget about that tight end. He does a little bit of everything, and then you reward the big fella throwing the ball, and he catches. So he really can do a little bit of everything in an offense.
Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. With the last drive in for a touchdown, they'll try to do it again on this one. Power football with the run. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's 1st down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Looking to throw, it's Rivers. Fires to the middle. With the catch, it's James. That's a kind of play that can really get you going as they have a 1st down at the 43.
QBs, when they see these zone coverages, man, some of them panic. Some of them throw it too quickly and can make bad decisions. I like how he waited a little bit, waited for the right window, the right opportunity. There's always going to be holes in zones. I just got to be a little bit patient.
Creates a little room. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Now, I know you two never faced off against each other in an actual rivalry game other than the Thanksgiving morning turkey bowl. But knowing you two the way I do and the way you know each other, Jesse, what would you have done to try to throw Pollock off a little bit on a stage like this?
In our opening 10-play script, I would have had David Pollock cut blocked, maybe even double team high-low, chop blocked on every single play early.
Which is illegal, you call it. That's fine. That's fine. You know what? I guess in retaliation to that, we would have just roughed the passer over and over, taking the 15-yard penalty. That's what's fun about this, Reese. It's petty. It's sometimes it crosses the line of dirty, but that's why rivalries are so fun.
We know about this running back's versatility. He's made some plays in this game so far, catching the ball. That time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. They're able to get the hit and make sure it falls incomplete.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Looking down the middle. He's got it and more than enough for a 1st down. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense. Really good job there. Don't force anything. Take your time, and he finds his man for the 1st down.
Yeah, and I think really good job by seeing the defense. Understand that they're dropping back. They're taking away most things. All right, get the ball to my running back. He can make plays after he catches it. Nice job by the quarterback seeing the situation and where to go with the football.
Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19. Absolutely nothing settled. Deadlocked after one period of play as we have a look at the stats. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see if someone can get the edge in the 2nd quarter. The Gators are threatening in the red zone. Now the play fake. Looking to the big tight end. He's got an open man.
Well, it wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. I think on that last completion, it was a good example of that.
The Gators will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. Quarterback sneaking his way, tunneling and burrowing into the line.
And man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground. That is a baller.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Corners showing press. They want to be physical here. Touchdown, Florida! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in games.
On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. The Sweet Feet buy a little time. Look out, he's got room. All the way out to the 43-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds, and this offense is on the move.
Well, we know the game of college football is always evolving and changing, and one of the biggest reasons why is the quarterback evolution. Dual-threat quarterbacks. You're seeing two great examples in this game so far. Both guys can hurt you throwing it. Both guys can hurt you running it. It's been the running attack for both of these guys. It's been the big story so far.
LSU quick to the line.
That's a really nice run. One thing I love about him is he's got versatility. Reminds me of a guy I used to...
There he goes. Touchdown LSU. Excellent pass by the back on the option.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Gators sending the offense back to work. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
When you talk about outstanding pass rushers, you're always talking about dynamic guys, and he's been that each and every week for this defense. Speed, he's got power. You just simply can't block him, and that last play is his 10th sack of the season.
Wide receiver comes in motion. Little touch pass to the receiver. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26. They are calling for their defense in Baton Rouge. A huge third down coming up. Looking downfield, it's Rivers. Spits it out to the back. Picked off. What a play to set him up. Taking it the other way. Touchdown, LSU. What momentum you get when the defense comes up with a play like that. What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the middle. Wide open downfield.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back in zone, you know what you got to do. Run those crossers across the formation. Those guys that are looking at the quarterback, they're not trying to pick up receivers all the time. Make those precise throws, right in those holes, get those first downs, get those big chunks.
Looking to throw on first down. That's reeled in. It's James.
Simple pitch, simple catch, easy little drag route right over the field. It's a nice timing route. You can run it versus man or you can run it versus zone and have a lot of success.
And the Gators can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Got it in the middle. It's Tompkins. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. The Gators come to the line with a new set of downs. Going to the running game. Oh, he's got some space. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the...
Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Gators! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
This has been a back-and-forth battle with a lot of football left to go. Really nice job executing on that rushing touchdown. If they get this extra point, this thing is all tied up.
And the extra point splits the uprights. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
We've been talking about this Big 12 showdown all week, guys. Let's show you how things played out. Oklahoma State proved it is battle-tested and capable of winning any place, any time after this one. And just think of the confidence this Pokes team gained today. Invaluable, if you ask me. Just another week in the Big 12 where anything can happen on any given Saturday. As we send things back to you guys.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Out of the gun to give to the back. Across the 25, he's got room. Gets him on the ground at the 31, but a nice pickup of 15 yards there.
Man, who says you can't run up the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks, I got to make big plays. I got to go way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle. Nice blocking. How about the running back? You could tell the speed, the wheels, does a great...
Trying to beat the DD. Got it in stride at the 15. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Tigers.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Plenty of time to work. Not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Wants to throw. It's Rivers. Finds his back in the middle. And he picks up the first down, but he will remember the price he paid after that hit.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
Looking downfield on first down. Dances away to buy time. And he'll just get rid of that one.
And that goes down as incompletion, but that's a smart play. And the QB coach and the OC will be very happy with the decision of the quarterback. He got outside the pocket. He's outside the tackle box. He knew he could throw it away as long as he got it past the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, nothing open. Live to fight another day.
And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Well, it comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Everybody needs a little luck, and the offense just got it by falling on that fumble. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. The Gators will line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. Makes the catch, and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Give to the single back. Hard-nosed, determined effort to work his way up to the 35-yard line. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Looks as if he's going to run it. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49. And the Tigers come to the line in the hurry-up. To the air on first down. Using his legs to buy some time. He's knocked out of bounds as he gets it across midfield and down to the 46.
And I feel like this defense is starting to pick up on this quarterback's MO. You've seen it, right? Like, time and time again, he is willing to scramble. He wants to carry the football, kind of apprehensive, maybe doesn't want to make a mistake. I'd love to see him maybe hang in that pocket just a little more and maybe make some plays down the field with his own.
Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact. The offense will quickly use a timeout.
And just having a guy that can continually make plays on the ground, it just opens up space for your running back, for your receivers, makes you defend the whole field, and it's not always big gains, but you've seen him today, man. It keeps the offense in positive situations with just little plays here and there, knowing he's a threat.
And because of the success that this quarterback has had early in this game running the football, if I'm the coordinator calling plays, I'm dialing up his number more. Designed runs, and also telling him on the sidelines, hey, listen, remember, if it's not open, take off. Just go get it yourself. They don't have an answer for you right now, and this is a big key for us to win this game.
We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. Making side adjustments here. They've been running it, but now the pass. Makes the grab. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down.
Well, it's a nice job by the receiver getting out of bounds to save some clock. You're probably out of field goal range, so you're thinking Hail Mary here at the end of the first half.
And in the waning seconds of the first half, they'll try to put up 3 before going to the break. Splits the uprights, it's good. And they'll push that lead out a little further. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Gators will line up to kick off and start the second half. And he's not going to take the touchback. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. If it's working, why change it? And that running game was working in the first half. I imagine we'll see a lot more of it here in the third quarter.
And you just know the offensive line was telling their coordinator, put this on us. Let us continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back and end this thing by running the ball.
And this is a manhood question for this defense. Like, as a defensive lineman, and you're pounding the rock, like, I got to physically rise to this challenge. This defense has to play more inspired and more physical in the second half.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wide receiver going in motion. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Sanchez. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. LSU right back to the line. Looking to throw for it. Grab near the marker. It's Grove. And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice from his own, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down.
Turning it on! The 20. Touchdown, Tigers! He got a step and just dusted the field. No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead. Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Trailing now by 17, David. This is an opportunity that they need to answer.
And down by 17, it's not panic mode yet. Like, I know we just gave up some points and our defense hasn't played great. I think this offense can still be who they are and stay consistent.
No doubt, lots of football to go, but you do get the feeling this is the time of game where, you know, it could get bad. If you don't score and all of a sudden they get the ball back, they take it down the field and put some points up, this thing might be over. So absolutely, this quarterback, he wants to drive this offense down the field and at least put something on the board.
To throw, it's Rivers. Finds his tight end. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
How about that? Just really nice catch by the big tight end, throwing those mitts up there, catching the football.
Looking to throw on first down. Pulls it in. It's Lanning. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. The Gators have it with a 1st and 10.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page. in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them. They're right back on the football, ready to...
Breaks into the open. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on first down. And you want to create second and short, third and short, or just get first downs like that run right there.
Got it behind the line. It's Tompkins. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle. And here comes the offense on second down. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding,
And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Florida! Great example of how a second half can really change everything for a team.
No doubt, first half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was ugly. But now you're starting to get it turned around. More drives like this is what's needed.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's recap that ACC matchup that has just gone final. Syracuse is going to enjoy the trip back to Central New York after a rock-solid performance. And you take care of business on the road, and you stack wins there inside the dome, and suddenly it's quite the resume. Never know what can happen when two good teams face off, but even the most plugged-in ACC fans have to be surprised by this one, fellas.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Opening play of this drive comes from the 12-yard line. They'll move the wide receiver. The give out of the gun. He breaks a tackle. Navigates that mass of bodies and gets 4 out to the 17.
I like the decision there in the RPO game too, guys. I know we only got a couple of yards, but that play's going to open up bigger opportunities throwing the football down the field in the RPO game too. So keep handing it off to this guy. Let him see what he can do. And when the defense gives you the look to hold the football and then finally throw it, that's when you take advantage.
Under fire. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it? And it looks as if they've buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. Throws to the back. Makes the catch. It's Sanchez. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. LSU will bring the punt team on the field. They'll boot it into the night sky for the first time. He'll try to field the punt and see if he can give his offense better field position. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. Motion from the wideout. Takes this handoff and headed to the right.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Out of the backfield, he's open. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. they get set to snap it just about to reach the end of the quarter. Guys, LSU has the lead here. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. They go back to work with the first down in the final period of this one. Dropping back, it's Rivers. Bringing the heat. And he will wisely throw it to the kid playing the tuba.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there. I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
So now it's second and long. From the gun, they'll try the middle. They're trying to send a message with this running game. He stopped after a pickup of 4 to the 33. These fans stepping up to help this defense on third down. He'll set up to throw. Got the big paws on it, but couldn't hang on. Instead, it'll be fourth down.
And man, did the defense just miss an opportunity that they could have turned the lights out with the lead. Get the football back here. Missed opportunity. Maybe this offense now can take advantage and swing some momentum in this football game.
Unloads to the right. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection.
In the situation we're in, down 2 possessions, they obviously had to go for that one. And because they're not able to come up with it, it looks like they're going to be leaving the stadium with it.
Leaves it with the back. They drag him down behind the line of scrimmage, and boy, that hasn't happened very often. He has had a tremendous night.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense...
Breaks a tackle, and he's got room. They get him out of bounds. Couple of yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on first and 10. Wants to go up top on first down. Forced out of the pocket. He'll try to do it himself. At the 35, he's loose. And he was on his way, and they get him down at the 30.
And it's just so fun to be a play caller when you got a QB that can do that. It's a pass play. Nope, he pulls it down, chews up yardage, gets a first down. And both of these quarterbacks, man, they have this ability to make big plays.
He'll pull it down and run. And he has a solid gain on the play before sliding.
I got to be honest. I know the defense respected this guy's running ability. I don't know, though, if they knew he was this good. He's been gashing in this game with his legs, and already you're seeing the defense now make some adjustments to slow this guy down.
Oh, no, the ball popped out. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Man, you go from perfect position of strength. I get to salt this clock away. I get to run this out. I'm going to win to, man, now I got to put my defense back on the field, and anything can happen, right, in football, and you can catch breaks, and so now you got to go out and earn it. You had this thing under wraps.
Motion from the wide receiver. Scanning the field, it's Rivers. Firing to the right, complete. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
This is the moment for this offense to put a drive together. It doesn't matter what's happened up to the point of this game, but you're trailing right now. You've got to put some points up on the board. This is where all 11 guys need to be playing together as one.
There he goes. All down, but he has enough up the first down. The Gators want to pick up the tempo. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the tight end. Past the 40. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down. And the Gators come to the line with a fresh set of downs. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
A strike downfield. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Under fire. Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Looking to throw, it's Rivers. Just missed on the connection, incomplete.
Well, they're not able to hook up on that throw, but they need to score now. This juncture of the game, this late in the game, they need a touchdown, they need an onside kick recovered, and they need to score again if they're going to win. The sense of urgency is just off the charts.
Big third down in the red zone, and this crowd is getting behind this defense. From the gun, wants to pass. Picked off inside the 20, and they snuff out the threat. He'll try to take it back. He's at the 20. Touchdown, Tiger. And what a turn of events as this defense gets the pick 6. That score will give them a little more room to operate here in the fourth quarter as they go for their 6th straight win.
And doing a great job in coverage. Obviously, you got to play run first as a linebacker always. That's your first thought process. But then reading the QB's eyes, breaking on the football, catching it. And then from there, it was easy. Just take it right to the house.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll leave it with him. Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Fires to the right. Got him downfield.
This quarterback has been really good today. Has been on top of it, seeing things really, really well. That pass right there put him over the 300-yard mark. That's a pretty good day.
Here comes the offense on 1st and 10 from the 47. They're setting up the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. The Gators now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Catch in the middle. It's Tompkins. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Well, here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
Got his man on the right. He's knocked out of bounds at the 42. Solid pickup on that one.
Well, this offense has a ton of work left ahead of them here in this 2-minute situation late in the game, but the drive off to a good start. You get the first down, you get out of bounds, you work in the perimeter of the field. That is exactly what you want to do.
They've got it. 1st and 10 at the 42. Dropping back, it's Rivers. He's got the back in the middle. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off. The give to the back. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. The Gators moving quickly to the line. They'll keep it on the ground. Gets it past the marker. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Now from inside the red zone. Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9.
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the pressure of this defense, and that's why they find themselves down by so much here in the fourth.
They'll get the timeout with 5 seconds remaining to play. One more play to pad the stats. This defense will try to keep everything in front. Looking for the score. Almost intercepted in the end zone, and what a red zone stop that would have been. It'll be 4th down.
This late in the game in the fourth quarter, they're in 4-down mode every single drive in possession, trailing by as much as they are. So down here in the red zone, you throw an incompletion, no-brainer. They're going to be throwing it again. Can the defense step up here and make a play?
That will be the final play as they make the stop, and the clock has expired here. They get the win. They are now bowl eligible, but when you have a 0 in the loss column, there are much bigger fish to fry.
I think a lot of people thought they'd be 6-0 at this point, too. So we know they're going to a bowl game. Great. But, David, they've got their eyes set on the college football playoff and a national championship. They have that kind of talent. They're not surprised they're 6-0. They're looking to do bigger things.
No, 6-0 is great, but that's not the goal. They want to be 12-0. They want to be 14-0. They want to continue this streak as long as they possibly can. Extremely talented. Nobody's surprised, and their goals are a lot bigger than this.
That's